Good evening, welcome back to Follow We Will Legends podcast, featuring the greatest ever Rangers legends as our guests. It's Wednesday evening with Stan Gordon and myself, Lynsey Glen, and we have a lot to discuss tonight. Before we get started, it's only right though that we thank our amazing sponsors who are on board supporting the podcast, and please do check out their social media and websites for information on supporting our like-minded people's businesses first and foremost. We have Milncroft Construction, Athol Solutions, the Gallant Pioneer in Blackpool, the Bluebell Bar in Tenerife, Tate Transport Solutions, DGG Freight Logistics, EK Blinds and Shutters, Ayrshire Tree Surgeons, Mac Network Devices, Big Tam's Ices, the Gart Craig Inn, Ernock Builders, Clearwater, Impact Signs, Cube Glass, and Nith Valley Home Improvements. Thanks everyone for all your support. Remember, if you're on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe to our show, or if you're on any of our social media platforms, remember to like, comment and share. Please get your questions in for our guests this evening. Please welcome onto the podcast ex-Ranger Mr. Bob Malcolm and our sponsor Mr. Tam Martin from Tam's Ices and the Gart Craig Inn. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Welcome to the show, guys. Bob, how's your ankle after your operation?
It's getting better. I just got the boot off yesterday, so can start pushing forward now and getting that done.
Yeah. How did it happen?
Just got an ankle replacement on the 10th of May.
Oh, was it not when you went in goals up in Thursday and the boy had kick at you?
That probably caused it. that one we never turned up. But no, it's been so for years, and that was it. I'd been done for an operation for just before COVID and it never happened, so finally got it done. So
I know you had the boot on when I was with you last week there, but I see you've got the boot half now. Is that onwards now?
That's it, onwards and upwards hopefully. To get a wee bit of physio and that's it. And then hopefully that's us can kick on.
Good stuff.
Brilliant. Tam, I know you're nervous tonight being on the show. A wee bit of nerves kicking in there. So you and Bob both are ice cream fans and you are competitors, eh?
Bob's are obvious.
I see you had a speakers night in your pub in the Gart Craig Inn last Friday. How did your night go and who did you have speaking?
Absolutely brilliant. Gordon Jury and Ian Durant, brilliant night. Everybody thoroughly enjoyed it. Whatever other night you put on, Stan. Great night, good turnout, a lot of good feedback.
Good support for the pub and stuff as well. And brilliant, that's what we like to hear.
It was a really good night. The two guys were in good form, weren't they? Good. You sometimes find that Dukey's a wee bit nervous with the mic, and he was a wee bit shaky.
At the beginning, he was all right.
Until he got his first bottle of Budweiser.
Well, he'd about 30, but no, he was in good form, wasn't he? And we had the Tam sponsored Hamilton Races on Tuesday. So Craig Moore, Bob, and Dukey and myself and wee Sammy Preston all attended, and it was brilliant.
I seen that on Facebook. Every time you see Stan Gordon has posted something, and all you see is, oh well. Every time he posts on, oh well, and then his picture. I'm like, right, where is he at this time? Where is he now?
Believe it or not, I dribble today because there's a wee guy in Blantyre noises me up about food and all that. So everywhere I go, I take a photo.
Oh well.
And I hope it is annoying. I hope he's watching it tonight. It is annoys him. But no, it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's always good. Then I get yours, Tam.
Good night.
You've been up before, Bob, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been up with Charlie and Big Marv.
Aye.
You've had a few players in now, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't know. Who's left?
I know. We're scraping the barrel now.
So, Bob, the last two games we've had have been quite bad for Rangers fans. What about Eindhoven? What did you think of the game?
Where do you start in that game? It's just one of the games that everything went wrong. I think when you see Golson's back pass on goal, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, just stop the now. But they had the perfect opportunity to come back at the weekend against Celtic and they never turned up. But everybody's blaming the players. I don't watching the game. I didn't think that the players were that bad. I know that some of them, like the ones you expected to turn up, like Cantwell, wasn't at his best. But the tactics, I thought was totally wrong. I thought we sat back and especially after you score a goal in the first minute or two, although it's offside, you've got to see blood. And no matter what the manager said his tactics were to sit back and whatever, but the players have got to take it on themselves and smell blood and go for it. And they sat back and went with the tactics that the manager's officer told them.
Do you think that we put Eindhoven out last year? What a difference this year! Do you think we're any better, Bob, or do you think it was just we weren't as good this year?
No, well, I think if you look on paper, they've sold a lot of players and probably won the same strength they were last year. And obviously, we've meant to have brought in better and look to be not as good either, though. But I don't know, Stan. It's how long do you give the players time? I know, like going in past when I was playing, Fernando took him a good year before he started getting to his best. There's been Mark Hateley over the years. It took him a good year. So, but it's all right. You can get away with maybe one or two, no 5 or 6.
And we brought was it 9 we brought in there? And see the thing, I know when at Eindhoven, I think we only started with two players that we signed in the summer, which is a bit worrying. You know, we didn't. I mean, you're signing 9 players, and was it 2 we played? Was it 3? The goalkeeper,
the keeper,
Dessers. Was there anybody else we started with? Was that the 2 players we started with?
Cifuentes, but didn't
Cifuentes. That's 3 out of the 9. So really, when you think you're 9 players and you only get 3 new players, yeah. What was your thoughts again?
Well, I was just about to ask Tam that.
I just thought that we were nowhere near what we were last year against them. We're meant to be a better team this year. We're meant to have improved. We're meant to improve. I think we'll get rid of 2 or 3 players we should never get rid of. I don't think Kovac should have been away. I really don't think that Sakala, I think it may have been too soon to let him away.
I was just about to say that he's now scoring goals for his new team, and I seen that.
I'd have kept Sakala, they kept Kovac. I wouldn't have no way to let Hadji go.
No, well, he's only loan, isn't he?
Aye, but I think it's a lot of injury problems we had last year was, I think, and start to get him back and you get rid of him. I know it's only one stand, but we could be doing him now.
What about Arfield?
What, bring him back?
Would you have kept Arfield?
Nah,
No.
I think see the players that with the ones that Tam said there, Sakala, I don't think the players that were brought in have proved that they're better than him at the moment. They might prove me wrong, but they've not showed it on the pitch.
Personally, myself with Arfield, right? I think Arfield's a great impact player. He can still get half an hour.
Comes on and scores goals,
and he's one of the type of midfielders that gets into the box and you'll get a goal after him. I mean, look at Aberdeen last season. He gets the 2 goals for us to get the 3 points. He comes off the bench, but he was prepared to get himself in the box as a midfielder.
100%.
I was at the Eindhoven game at Ibrox and I felt very frustrated. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought we played really well. See, you get like the draw. It was just, I don't know. I just felt we should have took that. We should have won that game.
I think we could have won the game.
I felt we were going to win it. I felt something there, but it never worked for us. But don't get me wrong. I think our goalkeeper kept us in the game with the saves that he made. But I really think we should have won that game.
2-1 up, we could have won the game. We could have been a third there.
It's when it's the big points, like even over there when you score, even we get back into the game 2-1. And
they
then
got the
they got up the park and score straight away.
Aye.
And every goal was a mistake.
Aye.
Like if you watch the defend, like crossing into the box, nobody's picking up.
No.
Suter gets bullied.
But the thing is, here, I know we've not changed our defence much, although we brought in 9 players. Our goalkeeper, which I think is an improvement.
Definitely.
But
who
back
do
four.
you play, but Stan, because the back four that's playing is the best back four apart. Will maybe Barisic coming back in.
That's what I'm saying, and they've bought midfielders and a new forward line, but they've not strengthened. They brought Balogun in, but he's going to be a bit player, so they've not really got anybody there that's strengthened for centre half or 2 centre halves.
What I will say about Balogun is he's a defender, so you go on one headers and doesn't take any. He'll clear the ball. He'll not take any chances. Maybe that's what you need in the games.
Aye,
like Celtic games where go and win a header. You track your man, like Coulson, all right, he wins a header, but he doesn't. He heads 10, 15 yards. and then Suter's not on his toes to go on for the second
Aye.
ball. So I know he's only just coming back for a long-term injury as well, so he's got to give him a bit of time, but it's just individual mistakes that's causing this problem.
Yes, you're right, Roving game. I was at the game and over there, and you get the goal back. So you get a wee, you say, oh, come on, that's good. Get a goal back, let's see. And they go up the park
And score straight away.
and they score off the corner.
Aye, that was frustrating.
But it's not even that. It's when you look their best header of the ball, who scores the goal, the striker.
And there's nobody on them.
And we've got one of your strikers picking them up instead of one of the centre halves.
Exactly. No.
What about yourself, Bob? Being obviously ex-Ranger, did you used to look forward to European nights when you were at Rangers?
Yeah, they were always good. I think I was obviously blessed to come through in a time when we were always mostly Champions League, apart from maybe one or 2 years. And we played against some great teams. And they were always good trips. No always great games, because we were always probably at that time the underdogs. Like playing against Ajaxes that were far beyond what we could be at that time. But no, they were great nights. And I think that's where we need to strive to get back to.
You were involved in the run when we had when we played Villarreal that season. When we were away to Villarreal, and that. We were outstanding. We were punching above our weight a lot of the games, weren't we? Yeah,
we played Porto and Inter Milan.
That's right.
The two teams that were expected to go through that section.
I think Ross McCormick scored at Porto, did he?
Scored over there, yeah.
Aye.
But that was we knew that we're the underdogs, and we go to Inter Milan, we get beat 1-0, and that was just the time when there was no fans, part of the hospitality. And then we managed to sneak a draw at Ibrox, which got qualified for the next stages. But that's nights that you never forget about. And to be fair to the nights, that was what's been probably seen last season. The fans getting behind the team.
Yeah.
It drives you, and it gives the players, you wouldn't believe the lift the players get for, hearing all the fans singing and always being behind their backs. And hopefully the fans can still get behind these boys that are playing now, because I know it will give them a big lift.
Right. I know you've been abroad a lot, Stan. I've been doing the podcast with you now for a couple of years, so I know that you go abroad quite a lot. What about yourself, Tam? Do you go abroad a lot to watch Rangers?
I don't get the time.
No.
Honestly. Really, no.
If he nips away for the van, Bob's in there.
Could have had them on.
One thing, lads, I was going to say there about Porto. I remember going to Porto, the game that Bob's talking about, and McLeish was the manager, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And do you know, Alec McLeish took Bomber and me, Durant, who weren't involved in the first team or the reserves or any time. They were just coaching at the time.
Yeah.
And he took the two of them to sit with Bob and Barry Ferguson and guys like that and tell them what Rangers is all about playing in Europe. And I think we need to get back to doing that. We touched on it.
We did. We touched on it a couple of weeks ago.
Do you not think that we should be doing stuff like that? Because they're not at the club. They knew that they're not Jimmy Bell there. We spoke about that at the last one there. They're not Jimmy. But she likes it with that with Bomber and Ian Durant being in the dressing room. We use all that. It's quite good that the players are lifting, saying, look, we were here before. Or when we were in Europe, we done this. That's no here now.
It's not really empty in the dressing room to do that, is there, Stan?
No, I don't think. I think Griggs is probably the last one. There will like Golson and Tav will probably have their bit to say, but it's not. It will definitely not be the same as it's been over the years, especially with Bomber not being in dressing rooms. Even like Bomber and Durant have been there. They've obviously they're coaches at the club, but they're not involved with the first team. But if they're listening to like the gaffer's team talks and they think that they maybe have missed something that they were meant to tell me or tell somebody else, they'll go aside and tell them. And then you don't get that. It's experience that hardly anybody will get.
I guess we touched on that as well, didn't we? But we're not seeing a lot of the young Scottish ones coming through that have been brought up the same way anymore.
I'm trying to think back to the last kind of. You had Bob's era with Barry Ferguson and Bob and Pizzo and guys like that there, but I'm trying to think who's pushed into the team since then that's got that wee bit of Scottish connection. Obviously, Al McGregor was about the only one that had been there for a while. To a certain extent, really, innit? You've got John Suter, but I don't even know if John Suter was really a big Rangers man before he came to Rangers.
Breaking into Probably.
Aye, I've never heard him coming out and saying that I was a Rangers fan before I came here.
But he's not. When was the last player we brought through the system?
Exactly.
At Murray
That's
Park.
that's what I mean.
Do you know what I mean? And it should be. You should be at least getting 2 or 3 players pushing. I know there's kids training with the first team, but Leon Kingston, he's played a few games last season, but nowhere near it this season. So,
what did they do with you, Bob? Did they every now and again take you in with the first team when you were younger before you broke into the team?
Dick was Dick Advocate took us in, but Dick was good because he used to he would take me training like with the first team for maybe 2 or 3 days, and then he would say that I'm enjoying it, and then he would bump me out, and he would bring Maurice Ross on, do the same with him, then he would bring like young Andy Dowie on, and he would just keep doing that, rotating it. And
Was that just to give you a wee taste?
I didn't want us to get above our stage going, we're involved with the first team.
But made you work harder.
Made us want to get back there.
And get back in here. I mean, I don't even, we spoke about that and all before. I don't even think when the players come to Rangers now, see like the new players we've signed, they don't take them to Ibrox, they sign them at Murray Park and they don't get a tour around the stadium.
Think about this, Stan. See, back in the day when Dick Advocate was the manager, I don't know if I don't think it happened underwater. See, when players were coming to sign, who was the first person they were meeting? John Gregg, the greatest ever Ranger. Who's meeting them now?
No, that's
a guy that probably just picking them up in the car.
Aye.
Do you know
I mean,
what
even we spoke about now, it was on Saturday when it was with wee Charlie Miller, he spoke about that there. When we signed George Alberts, it was Archie Knox that went in the car to pick him up at the airport, and he's assistant manager at the time. You know what I mean? And then you were embedded into the club. They took George Alberts into the stadium when Bon Jovi was on.
Yeah.
And they took him upstairs and all the players of the first team were all watching Bon Jovi. They said, this is when you're signing George Alberts. Look after him. Make sure he has a good day. And then went back and checked on him. And as normally as the first team was then, he had a Rangers tie tied on his sheet and a Reservoir Prawns t-shirt on. So that was him. Rangers forever after that.
What's your thoughts on the Old Firm game, Stan?
We own that already.
Aye.
Terrible. Shocking. No, I didn't enjoy the game at all. We never turned up. And I honestly feel Celtic were for the beating.
Aye.
I felt that. I know. Honestly, see when the offside goal went in, but it was obviously not a goal because it was offside. But I thought we were doing this today because I thought we were right up for it. Right? And then it just...
It changed after that.
Changed.
2 minutes of the game.
And I just...
Everything changed after that.
It changed after that.
But it changed because you see... Because everybody's seen the players dropping off. You're like, what's happening here? When that Rangers don't, especially Ibrox, you don't do that, especially against Celtic.
I like that McGregor on the full midfield. The way half him.
No.
Half McGregor.
Aye.
But even when you seen their team come on the screen, they had because they had the boy Scales playing centre half and they had a new centre half playing, but the rest of the team was playing most of last season. Apart from Tumble. So I don't.
And he's played a few for him games too. I didn't see a difference here, but we didn't have the urgency. And then you were talking about the game Eindhoven there with Cantwell wasn't his best, but I felt against Celtic he was played out of position.
So I think Cantwell covered nearly every blade of grass.
He did. I thought that as well. It was like he can't do it all on his own.
He
was everywhere.
He was chasing his own passes when he was getting the ball and then chasing it.
Yes.
I think he was covering for a lot of the defenders at the back and all.
But he shouldn't be.
The passing was very slack.
He was everywhere.
He's an attacking midfielder. When we played them last season, when we beat them 3-0, he was penetrating the box. He was getting in about the box, and he get his goal away, and there was a bit of urgency about him. But I don't know whether he's been told to sit back a bit because that wasn't the position he was playing that last Old Firm game there.
No, I think he seemed the way the game was going. The longer the game was going, the Old Firm game a couple of weeks ago, I think you seemed what we were watching. It's only do something here because they were running on the tap pace. Definitely.
And
let
even
him control the full midfield.
Raskin never played well either.
No, it's a bad game.
No, I know. Listen, you don't have to play well. You just need to put yourself about and do the right things. And I don't think we did. I think straight away after we scored that goal when we sat back, I don't know if you noticed it. It was more like defending our half, and then as soon as we win the ball back, we'll try and turn them and get in, which we did a couple of times. but I don't think you can play Roof on the right and do that and play that tactic.
No.
So why not play the big boy Seamer for his pace, or somebody else that's got pace that can do that?
Well, I'm getting back to the 3-0 game and we beat them. That's exactly what we did. We played two wingers, didn't we? We played two wide men, and we get a lot of success against them. We beat them 3-0. And we had two wide men, Sakala and Matondo, I think it was. We played, and we played. Who did we play through the front? Up front.
Morelos, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Morelos. He dropped Morelos. He dropped Morelos and Kent. He played with two wide men, didn't he? And we played somebody.
Was it no Roof?
No, he wasn't back. No. But we played with pace, and they spread Celtic, and they didn't know how to. They didn't answer for it, and they didn't do that game there. I agree with you.
I don't think he has it. I think he's only got Matondo, but I know the big boy Seamer's quick as well. But
see where they two with a bit of pace, what you were saying with Celtic's defence. I thought that would have opened them up.
They were definitely high up the pitch. So if that was a tactic, then it would have worked. Because it did work a couple of times, but I just don't think Roof's that sort of player that, even though he is quick, but he's no fit.
No.
And then you see the fans getting booing when he's getting taken off, but he didn't have a good game.
No, he didn't. And I don't think he can last 90 minutes now, Bob.
No, but I would rather have seen Seamer or Danilo playing first and then him coming on for the last half an hour. And then because he's more likely to get you a goal.
Aye, and a wee bit of energy up front with that wee half hour. The same as we were talking about with Arfield there, weren't we?
Yeah, just exactly what Arfield done. Brought one for the last 20 minutes to half an hour and changed the game every time, didn't he?
Aye.
Arfield.
What's your thoughts on the two up front, Dessers and Danilo? Well, he's not the chance, really, is he?
I think Danilo came on and had a couple of chances, half chances, if his touch was better. The keeper put off a decent save for one of them.
He did, to be fair. He had a good game. He doesn't usually have that good a game. That was a lucky day for him, I think.
I think that if, listen, you're not worth 5 million or 4.5 million and 5.5 million for no reason. They've obviously got something about them.
But do you not think that he should tell us why he's not playing? Because all the Rangers fans are asking the question, why how's he not getting a game?
I think that, see, Dessers, I think he'll be decent.
Aye, so do I.
I think he knows. I know he's came out. He should. That's another thing. They shouldn't have come out before the game and says, "I'll leave my blood in the pitch," or whatever it was.
Then don't do nothing.
And then
you'd think he would learn for that. And I think Michael Beale's a wee bit guilty for over talking.
Aye. See,
but that's most of them. They're putting stuff on their own Instagram saying like bad result after PSV, but we'll respond. And then they don't.
No.
So just keep your mouth shut and then see if you win. Then
talk.
Say something.
Aye. What do you think yourself, Lindsay?
Aye, I totally agree. I thought that our possession the day of the game was just a nightmare. I thought we lost the ball too quick. Every time we did get the ball, it was gone within seconds. But I'm not meaning that Celtic. I don't think Celtic were that much better than us. If I'm honest, I think they took their chances and they got them. We were unlucky with the goal we got chopped off as well. You're right. We could go. I mean, we've been talking about this now. If it happened, I know I've seen things on Twitter, Facebook. You could argue you're blue in the face, but I personally don't think it was a foul. I think the goal should have stood.
Aye,
looking
definitely.
at watching it back, but I don't think Celtic were that much better than us. I just think that we were slack. We were slack in our passing, keeping possession, losing long balls.
Even the one.
Definitely. I don't think we're any better.
It was. We just had. I think we just had such an off day.
We were terrible.
I think the one Bob spoke about earlier there, it was the header out for Goldston for their goal.
Aye.
I mean, he headers it straight to a Celtic player. And he just
He
puts
done
it
that a
back
few
in.
times in the game.
And then the defence, again, switches off and Kyogo goes on. And a lot of people were shouting for offside. He wasn't offside. There were another Celtic player offside, but he wasn't involved in the ball. So I don't know whether Suter's watching him and think he's off in his stones.
Suter's done the right thing. He's covered Goldston when he goes to head the ball in case he misses it, and then he can cover him. But once he's headed it, he's not come up behind him. He's still stayed in. And that's how Kyogo gets in.
Kyogo, aye, but he's getting a free shot to goal, isn't he? And I don't see if you watch the goal. I actually think he's thought he's offside the way
he's just hit it,
and he's just hit it, and they've got just kind of looked through and went, I've scored.
We were unlucky with a couple of our shots as well, so I do feel as if we'd have been at our game, the goals would have been in. They would have been the back of the net.
Aye, and my first goal was offside. But as you said, that my second chance when Ruth scores there, that's a goal.
And that could have changed the game, the dynamics of the game completely after that, if that had stood.
Yeah, because you've got to go chase again then.
Yeah.
And it opens it up for us a bit.
I think the big problem we've got is we don't have somebody that can dictate the game. We don't have a Barry Ferguson that can go in there and go.
Well, here's some a wee bit controversial here then, right? So Matthew White has put, he's come up, nothing's changed in the last 3 managers with picking Tav as the captain. There is no leader on the pitch. Do you agree? I like Tav, but I know it's kind of mixed feelings about the captain.
You know my thoughts.
He always seems to show up when he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like him. I do think he's good for us.
See if you watched Eindhoven and Kilmarnock, Celtic, and a couple of the friendly games, right? See if you're a manager and you're watching the way Rangers set up, Tav goes forward and doesn't get back.
Aye.
So they'll move a guy out to his position. And I don't know whether he's been told to do that and defenders are doing the right thing and covering for him when he goes up the park. But Rangers are leaving space doing that side all the time.
All the time.
But we do it the wrong way though. When Tav goes forward, we're using one of our midfielders to come across and cover him instead of Goldson come across.
Aye.
And then Suter into the slap back 3 then.
Aye.
And then you can cover it that way. We're having in the PSV game, Cifuentes was trying to cover him.
And
Taking him out of his position.
No, and he's out of position too, and it's leaving a space in the middle of the park, and you could see that with him. But I think it was Eindhoven. Rangers got a corner on the left-hand side, and he went out to the left-hand side to take the corner when he's a right back.
Aye.
And they crossed the ball in, and they lose the ball right away. But he's out there. He's never getting back.
Rangers have been doing it all season, even last year. I've been a shy away down there, and Tavernier running 60, 70 years to take this shy.
It showed the first game of the season where he took the corner, deflect out for a throw in and then the opposite side, and he ran for the corner flag away across the pitch to take the throw in. But that's other players not taking the responsibility. That's not just down to him. But getting back to the question for the man, I don't think he should be the Rangers captain.
No,
I don't think he's got the. I think he's a great player. I think he's a unbelievable.
He always
player.
seems to show up when he needs to. Do you know what I mean?
But I think if the pressure was taken off him, I think it would be 100 times better.
Do you think so?
Who would you make captain then?
Goldson would be the only one, or else the goalkeeper. But I think Goldson going through what he's been through over the few years with coming out and calling the squad out after one of the, was it the semi-final or the final? And it was water off the duck's back when he came back, turned up the next game and he was fine. So I think to have the balls to do that, then that's captain material for me.
Neil Coulter is saying he needs to get a consistent starting 11. That's something that I feel I agree with. He's not got that. Michael Beale's not got that consistency yet with the players.
I think he needs to settle on a formation first before he can settle on his
players.
He's no got a settled 11 yet, is he? And a lot of people are saying give it time he gets a settled 11.
How much time? They shouldn't need time with these millions of pounds that they're paying for them.
I don't think there's 2 games in a row.
No, it's not. And you've had three friendlies. You've had 4 or 5 league games. And you've had 4 or 5 European games. And you've had four European games. Surely you should have a steady 11 by then. I mean, a wee tweet now and again, but he brings the boy Cifuentes and buys him, he brings him in and he bums him up. And the wee guy looked no bad the first couple of games. And he wasn't great against Celtic. He wasn't great.
He didn't play against Celtic?
No, it's no Celtic, sorry. Eindhoven. He was lost. He was lost. But he drops him after that. He doesn't play him against Celtic. It's no, he's not sticking by him. He's going he's not a good game. So you're bundled, try somebody else. And you can't do that.
No, that's what I don't think's right.
Players need the runs in games. That's
and back to Danilo again, he's not had a run.
And you know
if he's no fit, play him to get him fit. Give him at least 40 minutes.
15 games played this year and not the same start lineup 2 in a row. Definitely no.
And you know what the thing is? That must be a wee bit have an effect on the actual players themselves.
Definitely.
They must, confidence-wise, Do you know, not just fitness and like getting game time, just their confidence must be like, why is my manager paid
Lindsay,
money
if
for me
you
not
think-
playing me?
Lindsay, if you think you played a good game the week before, a half decent game, the following week you're going to
You're going to wonder why, aren't you?
Definitely.
That's
That's what affects them.
that will affect them
definitely.
100%. It does.
Mentality
That's
why,
happened
like
to-
for the mental side of it, it must affect them.
You'd like to think that the players know they've got the mentality, but that's the reason why you need to sign them for Rangers, because they've got the mentality. Because you can sign good players, but as soon as they get onto the pitch, they shit themselves because of the fans.
I mean, why is Sakala scoring goals now for this new team? Do you know what I mean? He did score for us as well, but he never got that consistency with game time again, didn't he?
Right.
And
That's what I think it's doing. Even we had you. It was a lot of injuries we had you. And then we get him coming back nearly full fitness. Rangers put him on loan.
No, but
Sakala wasn't really a regular in the team last year. Not the later stages of the league.
it was
last year.
unpredictable, Sakala. I mean,
But Stanley's probably better than what we've got now.
but is he? Would you?
No, but keep him there the now until bed the boys in.
Well,
Like
aye,
you
I know that. But
Keep
you've
him
got. I mean, you've got a choice up front now. You've got the boy Lammers, you've got Dessers, and you've got Danilo, and then you've got Sima. And there's right. So he's going to have to pick what his best three is out of them, and then you've got Matondo coming on to again. So it's really 5, isn't it? So he's got to find out what he's actually going to do.
Then you've got
His
Roof.
affirmation and Roof. Aye, but he's got to get a formation with him
Yeah.
and stick with him and say, right, I'm going with 2 centre forwards and change the 2 centre forwards, or I'm going with 2 wide men and 1 through the middle and stick to that and then swap about with him. I mean, the guy Matondo, he's looked good since this season coming back. He has.
No,
Don't got much time to do it, but Stan. One more bad result is right under pressure.
Aye.
Even a draw.
Long do you think that you'll get Bob if
I think you've got to give him until at least Christmas. I think you can't just. I know he's brought in players, but you've got to give him until Christmas. You can't just get rid of him the news.
No what money spent. I think you've got
No,
to give
I
a
know.
bit.
And see, the thing is, I've spoke to people who say, mate, he's a really good coach.
he is.
That doesn't make you a good manager, as we've seen in the past.
well, we're getting quite a lot of people coming on now. So Alex Kelly's, what's Alex saying? A stronger manager would have moved Tav into the middle, like Rickson, or moved him on. He's becoming a liability for the team. He doesn't think or act like a defender, so he shouldn't be playing in defence. What's your thoughts on that?
I've done a podcast with Ricky a few weeks ago, and that was my point. I would have pushed Tav into the middle of the park and put like Sterling or somebody at right back, or brought in another right back to push him forward. 'Cause to be fair, he's most of the time he's forward anyway.
So what would your starting 11 be then, Bob? Who's asking that? I seen somebody had asked what your starting 11 would be. Neil again.
Listen, it's different because in Scotland you're expected to have most 90% of possession, so you can play them at right back and still attack, and still your 2 centre halves should be able to cover one of their strikers. But I think everybody's no performance, so you can't pick one. But even
So you're like the manager, then you would struggle to say, right, who am I putting on today?
I would have Raskin and I would have Cifuentes both sitting in the middle of the park.
You would have your new players,
and then have like obviously one winger, attacking midfielder, and then a winger on the other side and a striker. But we don't have that luxury of having so many wingers. So
unless you go with what you said, they go with Sima and Matondo, and maybe Roof through the middle, swap to her, and
put one set midfielder and 2 attack midfielders, because you're going to have most of the possession. But it's a matter. People have got their own formations and the way they work in training during that week for this formation. So that's what he prefers.
And he seems to play narrow, doesn't he?
Yep, he seems to be 4-3-3.
Aye,
a bit narrow.
Aye.
Listen, and people have been saying that he was thinking about going to a 3 at the back for the start of the season, but we've seen that a couple of times. Like maybe Lundstrom's sitting in there.
I certainly agree with that when we're at Ibrox. 3 at the back, as you said, because we've got all that possession and let our 2 full-backs stay up apart.
But if you go 3 at the back, then 3 guys picking up 1 striker.
That's true. I know.
You're taking a player out the game, basically.
Because sometimes you don't want to play with one, don't you? Most of them, especially at Ibrox.
See you and Barry making a comeback here. I'll buy your van off you.
I seen Alec Kelly having a wee go there saying you're a food reviewer. What else have we got there? Colin Morrison. We're lacking a bit of grit. Players who know what playing for Rangers is all about. We missed a trick with Lewis Ferguson and letting Arfield go. Also, again, to a lesser degree, with the likes of Shankland. Now, Lewis Ferguson's a no-brainer, isn't it?
It was at the time, but was Rangers going to pay £2.5 million to Aberdeen for a player that they probably at that time thought wouldn't have played? I don't think they would have.
They don't think that.
They never, so...
You don't think that'd have been ideal, him in the middle of the park with young, what do you call him, the Belgian boy?
Raskin.
The two of them in the middle of the park. How good would that have been?
Still talking a chance of coming back, you know?
No. Listen,
Lovely.
Napoli.
Well there, but
Napoli were talking about spending 9 or 11 million for him there. We couldn't afford them now.
I'm reading something. They still a wee chance of...
No chance.
No.
Napoli and Juventus were the two teams that looked at him there at the end of the season there. And the first couple of games of the season, the Italian season started back. He said man of the match the 2 games and he scored. And his goal ratio for the middle of the park is unbelievable for Bologna. And he just signed another 3-year deal. So he got him away from there. It'd be a lot of money now. But at the time, you're right, a lot of Rangers fans were mixed whether they thought he was going to enhance the team, but it's proved that he probably would have.
I think, see, at the time when he was moving, I think there was more chance of him going to Celtic than what there was Rangers. Like, interest-wise, I mean.
Oh, I know, he wouldn't go to
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, for Celtic were willing to pay the money to bring him.
Is that right?
So, obviously, they had Tumbo and that were coming back at that time, so I don't think they went ahead with it, obviously.
Didn't he see he's loving it there, didn't he?
Oh, he is.
Absolutely loving it.
Aye, and he's playing some great football. And Scotland game last night, I don't know if he got on late on, but he never started. And I felt he'd have started that kind of game. It would have suited him last night.
Yeah, no, 100%. But see, that's the squad that they've got now. He's not even.
Well, but the other one up, but Colin said there with Shankland, would you have took Shankland?
Listen, I think the players that I know everybody's saying Shankland because he's Scottish and he's been scoring goals, but it's a total different ball game when you come to Rangers. Trust me. And they say that because he's scoring goals for Hearts, he'll definitely score for Rangers. It doesn't work like that. He probably wouldn't get a game for Rangers. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like you've brought these guys in on big money.
A few times.
I think Dessers will come, and you look over the years. Andy Webster come to Rangers. Oh, he'd be brilliant. He was brilliant with Hearts. Came in, never done it.
No, and Andy Webster got injured, and then he came back, and he went to loan with Dundee United, and get Player of the Year, and went back to Rangers and never kicked a ball again. And I know for a fact Walter Smith actually took him in and said, "What's wrong with you, son? What's actually wrong with you? Tell us, and we'll do something." He couldn't. He couldn't wear the jersey, and that's exactly what it was, didn't he? He couldn't wear the jersey. Would you take Shankland?
A lot more players than him.
That's what Bob's saying about that.
No, no,
it's
right.
Listen, I played against Shankland when he was a kid at Queen's Park, and I said that if he would definitely make it, because his movement was brilliant. And don't get me wrong, I was retiring. I was coaching at East Fife at the time, and I was playing in a couple of reserve games to try and help them. And his movement was frightening for a kid, and to be fair, he scored some amount of goals. And would I like Rangers to sign him? Aye, because he's a Rangers man, he's a good player, but I don't think he would just walk into the team.
No, I think we need to try and get the players we spent all this money
on
kicked into gear and get them doing what we need them to do. That's what.
That's
why, because I think these players can do it. I don't want to say I don't think they've got the right man leading them, because I do like Michael Beale, but I think he's getting it wrong. I think that he's getting it wrong on the pitch.
But that comes down to his backroom staff as well. If they got the balls to say, "Look, I think we've done a wee bit wrong here. Can we try this or try that?" They might know how. They
need to get the players that we've bought going. They need to get them going. Because you're just going to start again, starting all over again.
That's what we're going to at least January anyway. So you've just got to work away with it.
And I'd like the manager to come out and actually tell us why Danilo's not getting a game.
I think this
It was
is more the
excited
issue.
about
It's
him
the
coming and they
frustration,
paid the
isn't it?
$6 million for him. Play him, and if he's not playing him, let us know why he spent all that money and he's not bringing the guy in. And another comment he made, I know, was he had been fooling the young boy Cifuentes for 2 or 3 seasons here, and how good a play. He's excited, and he can't wait till he gets him, and then he drops him.
I think Cifuentes will be a good player.
No, I like him. I do. I like him, but he's got to get a run too.
You don't know. See, like with Danilo, and you don't know where they are pre-season wise, like what they've done. He might not have been training with Feyenoord or wherever he's came from. Do you know what I mean? And Dessers was more likely been 12 weeks behind.
He was.
Scotland with pre-season, so maybe he's behind. If you don't do a pre-season, then you start trying to play. You're always chasing your tail.
Aye.
So hopefully, now if he's known his international team, then he's training for 2 weeks and getting back to the sharpness that he should have.
I think it's the frustration for a lot of the fans just now because, like that, Stan, you're wanting to know why he's not answering the questions. So it's not. I don't think it's about the capabilities of these players. I think these players will come through for us.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will, but again, it comes down to the management side of things. But
I think they will, definitely.
I just think it's the fans are just very frustrated at the moment.
It could be one bad game away for maybe no happening. Maybe a change of money, one bad game.
But this wee break, the international break, this could be the thing that they needed. Just at this point, you get players getting away.
I definitely think
doing well with the national team and coming back.
Could be the trick. Never seen him before. Could be the trick, but he's not got much time.
What's the one there with Andrew Slavin there? Up the top there, Ricky. Andy from Israel. Danilo, you will be the main striker at the club. A friend from Notre Dame who says he's a workhorse. So we've not seen that yet, anyway.
I think we've seen bits and pieces of it in the Old Firm game where he did work, try to get when he had shots from goal and then working hard to try to get the ball back. And I don't think playing him on the left kind of helped him a wee bit. But
there's Alec McCallum. Aberdeen wouldn't sell young Lewis to Rangers, but that's true. What's the one with Antro in there?
$2.5 million for him. That's a problem. But
the team might have some talent, but they have no heart. Hi from Canada, Stan, enjoying the show. Thank you. Well, they haven't showed any heart on at the moment. I've got to agree with you there.
But I think that's that side. I think that's going out the game now. See where all this VAR and referees clamping down on tackles and stuff like that. You can't. It's not the way it used to be.
No,
I know you can be vocal and stuff, but I think that the player getting in like the olden days, like Terry Harlock smashing somebody or Graham Souness smashing somebody, and then getting a yellow card for breaking somebody's leg. The days are done now.
Aye,
to get your teammates up for the game.
Aye, well, Alex Kelly as well. He's got a good wee point here. So Biela's only named 22 players for his European squad. 25 is the limit. We have 3 goalkeepers, 6 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 9 forwards. It looks totally unbalanced. It also doesn't say a lot for our B team players.
What I will say there is, I think you've got to have so many Scottish players in it, and we haven't. Yeah. I think you've got to have so many homegrown players there, and I think that's how
I don't think you need to name the kids. So like you'll have
kids,
King,
yeah.
You have Leon King,
the young boy Divine.
They will be
Sidney Divine's grandson.
You don't have to name them on the thing because they're homegrown.
Mm-hmm.
So they will be,
but that's just the way it is in Europe. I mean, we've no signed a lot of Scottish players. So, I mean, years and years ago, looking back, guys like Gordon Jury and that Walter signed them because they needed so many half-decent Scottish players in the game, and they let some good talent go to bring Gordon Jury and guys like that into the team because of that in Europe.
But that's guys that would run through a brick wall.
Oh, aye, would.
Even though he might not have had the quality of the player that left, you were getting the other side that goals.
You were there on Tuesday. He said one there on Tuesday. Gordon Jury, I didn't know, right? Gordon Jury is the only Rangers player ever to score a hat trick in the Scottish Cup final.
Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
He told us the other day, but so
he made you
only because we tell him when they go to the hat trick, Brian Laudrup get man of the match. There one for with Stevie Park there. Up there, no. All right. Bill told us he'd be bringing goals, pace, and aggression. We've seen nothing, not even basic organisation. Come on, guys. Well, he's got a point. He's got a point in there.
Steve said one and just above that here. Stan, never mind the players, a lot of organisation, and definitely 100% the
Aye.
organisation, the team.
No, that comes for the players as well. That's not just the manager.
Aye.
Organisation comes for the players that are on the park.
Aye.
I say I was talking to, like the other day when we were at the racing, just talking to Big Oz before it, and I was saying to him, like, back in your day, it wouldn't have mattered if we'd have scored that goal and it never counted, the first one, the offside one. Even if it was the manager's tactics, we would have just took it on board ourselves. Like, let's have a fucking go here for the next 10 minutes at least, and then we'll revert back to that. But there's no, the players are not taking on their own shoulders.
No, I seen an interview with Souness not that long ago, and he was talking about it, and he says a lot of managers say once the players go in the park, it's up to them, then they can't do nothing. And Souness says, but it didn't bother me. He says, because I had a John Brown there, or I had a Terry Butcher, or a Richard Gough, or a Graham Roberts. He says, and I didn't need to do it on the park. If somebody was doing something wrong, they would be at the play and say, look, got a grip here.
That's the problem.
We had that in abundance, even in your time.
Oh, 100%.
You had Fernando Dixon and Barry Ferguson weren't along and telling you if you weren't performing right, and that's what a lot of them are talking about there. They're not doing that now.
See if you watch the videos that are on YouTube and stuff, like Mourinho and all these managers, the halftime team talks, the manager's just talking for the full 15 minutes.
Right.
See, like back in the day, what you're talking about with Bum and that, all the players would be fighting with each other for the first 10 minutes, and then the gaffer would come in and say, right, that's not working, we're changing that a wee bit and do something. Then that would be it, and then we'd do it for the second half.
I mean, Derek Ferguson, we're talking with Souness, how good Souness was. And he says, the first game was at Hibs at Easter Road. He says, and me and Major Ante were on the bench, and Walter Smith says, listen, watch this man playing. He said, this is a genius, a maestro, Graham Souness. See, everything he does, use one to emulate on the park. He said, after 5 minutes, he said, he gets sent off. He said, me and Major Ante just looked at each other as if to say.
Stan, how was Lisburn last week? I know you were away at Lisburn.
Brilliant, fantastic. We were with wee Charlie and Ian Durant, and the boys looked after us great. We done that. I think it was the first Linfield supporters club,
right?
And the Lisburn Rangers supporters have got a big section up, a big lounge or a big bar. They're going to have their rain earlier, and the big end maybe was about 160, 170, and it was full. And no, I loved about it, and it was great. The amount of young fans that was there wanting photographs and autographs with Ian Durant and me, Charlie. And it's great to see young boys in Northern Ireland are still so passionate for the club. And the guys really looked after us. Really, that's the first time I had been in Lisbon years ago, but first time I was ever at a Rangers function. And I love getting out there and seeing the support Rangers have got on. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Well, you've been a few times yourself, Bob. It's brilliant.
I think that's part of the problem why we're not getting players coming through either. See, like when I was coming up, the coaches were John Brown and John McGregor, two ex-players. Obviously, Walter he just became manager like when we were growing up as kids. And the players used to come and watch the training. And then it gave you something to look forward to. I don't think the players have got that now.
No, I think even at Murray Park, Bob, they're separated. They're on different bits. I think Stephen Gerrard changed all that, didn't he? He put them into different bits, and they don't even see each other.
So how's a kid in the B team meant to go? I want to be part of that.
And
you
they
can't
don't
even watch them see them training.
No, I know.
You can't even walk by them and go, there's a first team player in the gym, because they're not allowed up that bit.
They're not allowed the same bit. No, I agree with you.
There's no point in having a training centre for everybody if you can't see the first team training. That's where you want to be at the end of the day.
No, as I said there, you're looking at some of the young boys there, all excited, seeing the Rangers player. Mental, honestly. Brilliant.
What about Benidorm? How's that coming along? I know we'll go there next week. What's happening?
Bob's only one out of 4 you see that's not going. No, good. The tickets are sold well for the gala. Dinner. It'll be great. Big Scott Nisbet's coming. It'll be good to see Big Nizzy.
Big Boomerang.
Aye, it'll be good to see him. Aye. Did you ever hear that one, Will? Big Scott Nisbet. So. The taxi in Hong Kong. She's in a taxi with Ali McCoist and Vee Durante and Big Marvin. So they're slagging him, they're keeping him going. He's stuck his shit in it. So they're keeping him going, right? So he turned in and he says to Cloisty, it's all right for you. He says, you get sponsored by Nike. He says, you've got all the Nike stuff. He says, Durant, you're Adidas, you've got all the Adidas stuff. He says, me, I'm sponsored with Kangaroo. He says, because when I kick the ball, it always comes back. And he went, that's a fucking boomerang.
Kangaroo. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
But St Johnson on Saturday, we've got to get a result.
It's a must
What do you
win.
think?
Must win.
100% must win. I just think they need to just get an attack and score
What
goals.
changes would you make?
I wouldn't make any. I'll just put
Just
the same team out and
same
just say,
team.
go and prove that
You
was
can
it.
work.
Mhm.
Go and prove you
that
can
work?
do it.
Aye.
What
Well,
about
I'd
yourself?
maybe-
Start
if-
with Danilo.
Depending what the tactics are, if they're going to play, they're not going to sit off St Johnson, wait until they get to halfway line and then try and turn them. They're going to have most of the possession, but
I've got to go for it.
I think
Oh, St Johnson are both in the league, aren't they? They're both with it. I don't think they've got a point.
They get 1 point.
1 point.
They
So
were
they
Celtic the
did.
week before us.
That's right. That was at Parkhead,
Aye.
wasn't it? But what would you think, Tam, on Saturday?
They've got to just go for it. But they should have done it all for a game.
Because it looked comfortable against Ross County. I thought that was going to be a wee hard man. You know, actually, Lindsay?
I thought that could be a tough unit at Ross County.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think they've got to come out the blocks.
They've got to.
And I think we've got to show the rest of the league that we're backing, we mean business.
I think what you don't want for a couple of seasons back when teams were coming to Ibrox and they weren't even caring they were coming to Ibrox. We're glad they come to Ibrox because they thought we were going
horrible,
to
wasn't
get. That's what you don't want to go back to that stage and then the fans get on the players' backs, on the managers' backs. We need to start getting results.
As you know, we can be the best fans and the worst fans in the world. If you didn't, well, you sit in the stand up. No, but the Rangers take centre and the guys are me shouting your shit and all that. The game's not kicked off yet.
No, it's crazy, but that's what being a top club you get that.
I know, and it's a big expectation into it at Rangers, and that's how a lot of people can't wear the jersey.
Hopefully, we see improvements then going forward, and it makes us the podcast a wee bit cheerier because I feel tonight we've just been a wee bit down and a bit things
to talk up about, really. Have we?
You know.
What about 3 European games? Do you fancy in that section?
Yeah, I'm hopeful, but I don't think we'll go through as table toppers, but I think we'll still go through. I think we've got enough to go through.
What do you think yourself?
I think I'm saying Bob. I don't think we'll win this section, but I think we'll qualify.
What do you
I
think?
think we need to have confidence in them. I think we need to give them.
What do you think their danger is here?
Real betters, I think.
Real betters. I think they're about the strongest at the moment.
Yeah.
So that we've got them next Thursday, so that will give us a wee game.
Are you going to any games of that? Are you going?
I was going to go to 3 of them, but the Rangers are doing the Cyprus trip. They'd put out a 3-day package going with the club, and they were wanting £2,750 for 3 nights, and people say that I'm not wanting to pay that because don't get me wrong, it's a 5.5 hour flight, so your flight will be dearer, but a lot of money to pay out for 3 nights and a 5.5 hour flight there and back.
Seville, didn't you?
I've booked Seville. I'm in the same hotel as you for Seville, and I'm going to go with the club to Prague. I'll go to Prague with the club. I've never been to Prague before. You've been to Prague?
I have.
We played a team for Prague in one of the Europe. Can't remember who it was. We played a team in Prague, but
Beautiful city.
Is that?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, is it the big church or the chapel in the middle?
Beautiful, lovely
Stay
city. So
for
it is.
Aye. No, I've never been, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Tam had said that they're all staying in Seville, so I booked a week in Seville. So hopefully the weather's still good.
Well,
think
hopefully.
I think it's December. I think we're there in December.
2nd December.
Aye.
Hopefully, then the next podcast we've got a lot more to be talking about, a lot more
No.
positives to be talking about instead of negatives.
I'm sure that's it done. We're
Positive.
getting forward now.
And I'm actually Trish isn't listening, so I might be going to Cyprus.
Oh, here we go. I know usually she's sitting in the corner over there and you just see the eye going like that.
when we done Eindhoven there, when I went to Eindhoven, I wasn't going to the day before.
I know.
That's just fun of it. He's making that wee food talk.
I said, "Oh, that's terrible. My mates are going and I'm
He can't resist.
You never believe it, Trish. When did you know book it for? Well,
I was
just a
booked 2
phone call
minutes
and
later.
There's one left.
Right, guys, I think that's time to wrap up for tonight. Thanks very much for joining us on Follow We Will Legends podcast. If you'd like to sponsor a podcast and appear on one of our next shows, please get in touch with myself or Stan. Also, remember to get involved, folks, by subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking our social media pages, Follow We Will Legends podcast. Huge thank you to our guests tonight, Bob and Tam. Thanks very much,
Thank
guys,
you.
for
Thank
coming
you,
on.
Lindsay.
It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure having you on and entertaining our viewers. So thanks very much for doing that for us. And thanks to Ricky and the podcast rooms as well for all your hard work behind the scenes. Thanks, Ricky. Here at Follow We Will. Good night and God bless.
Good night.
Good night.